A quick disclaimer, if you've only just reached the point where you're farming for Spice Melange, you won't reach the efficiency shown here just yet. But regardless of what stage you're at, this is what I believe to be the most optimal method, and even if you're part of a big guild, it may beat out full harvest runs. It's also far less risky. Our approach is quite simple. We want to take advantage of the fact that the scout chopper can be stored, respawn beacons exist, and you're able to force respawns and effectively halved travel time as a result. We also optimize everything else that we can to maximize efficiency. Since the scout thopter only has 500 storage capacity, we want an empty inventory, so we only pack the bare essentials. With combining our character's 167 capacity with the 500 from the thopter, runs clock in at 4,452 spice sand. Using the Large Spice Refinery, this equates to around 89 melange per run. Here's the inventory of the player. Compactor for farming, vehicle backup for thopter, Softstep boots for worm aggro reduction, a respawn beacon for new locations, and an MK5 power pack. I highly recommend MK6 wings and engines for the thopter. Getting caught by PvPers is the biggest risk, but we easily outpace and outmaneuver them in almost all situations with this setup. This will also cut your travel time quite a lot. Glide at 182 km per hour and you can travel around 20 km in a single drop. You'll also want a storage box with spare vehicle batteries, respawn beacons, power packs, welding torches, welding wire, compactors, and water. Every few runs, top up your water and fuel, but stash them after, since again, we want as much inventory space as possible. To start the run, you'll have to scout an area that has a lot of sand. I found a few big fields, which is nice, but mediums are also really good, and you can get 5 or so trips before you need to find somewhere else to farm. Once you have a spot, place down a respawn beacon near the closest rocky area and start to farm. Mediums seem to only spawn past a certain point. My guess is F, G, H, and I, so you'll need to get deep for the best yields. Respawn beacons must be in rocky areas. They'll disappear on open sand. With the Omni Compactor, your area of collection is quite big, and even still, I underestimate just how wide I'm allowed to shoot. Overestimate instead of underestimate, especially since medium fields and large fields have so much yield to go around. Anecdotally, I find that after farming for 45 to 50 seconds, I can jump into my thopter, fly up a little bit, and come back down to reset the worm aggro timer. It might be confirmation bias, but it seems to do the trick, so experiment and let me know what you think. As soon as the worm de-aggros, get back down and start farming. Speed is key here. Remember to quick deposit with F, and once you're full, fly back to base. I was farming a little bit out of the way most of the time, and my base is in the PvE area, so half of my time investment is actually traveling back to my base. If you do encounter enemies, your speed and evasion should be more than enough to get away safely if you're using the MK6 wings and engine. I found the optimal glide ratio to be around 182 km per hour. With your crosshair centered, only a few readjustments are needed, and doing it in a single glide if you get real high is very much possible. Once you're back at base, deposit your sand, stow your vehicle, and repeat. Each run will net you 4,452 sand. With the large processor that turns 10k sand into 200 melange, this translates into 90 melange per run. When I did have field scouted, it took me 13 minutes on average to clear and return to base. For argument's sake, let's make it 15 minutes flat. That's 360 melange per hour. But given you'll need to spend some time scouting and maybe some inefficiencies as well as repairs, you're still looking at 300 every 60 minutes, which is some serious yield once you get into the swing of things. It's also the most risk-averse approach. If you're quick, you can land behind some rocks, dump your inventory, and save your thopter if you get caught in a PvP situation. Our server has quite a lot of PvP going on right now, so I really liked this approach for multiple reasons. As for bonus information, I recommend getting Softstep boots. They will help a lot. You may already have a pair researched and check if that's the case, but if not, you can run Imperial Testing Station 197. This has a 75% drop chance. It's located in Western Vermilius Gap and you'll clear it very quickly. In terms of other ways of getting more efficiency, the Large Spice Refinery online as soon as possible is key. It only costs 500 melange in the deep desert, so definitely set it up there in the PvE zone. Note that you only need MK6 wings and the engine for maximum speed and maneuvering. The investment here is 54 melange for the engine and 56 for the wings, so 110 in total. This is just over one run, so it pays for itself very, very quickly. They also last for a long time, and you'll be swimming in enough melange to use them permanently, no matter where you go after. If you have your vehicle out, you do run the risk of dying and it getting destroyed. Respawn as quickly as possible on the vehicle, not your respawn beacon, and bank it before you get killed again. If you do die, take the L and get straight back into it. It's a minor setback compared to the next best thing, which is the Harvester and Transport on a thopter duo, setting you back well over 1000 melange in costs. This is just a tenth of the price, and you're far, far less likely to go down. If you're extremely sweaty or on a very busy PvP server, you could, in theory, pile your sand in one spot and deposit it in one go to minimize the risk of losing your thopter. I didn't do this, but I might start if I catch a death or two from random rocket attacks. As for the compactors, I use the Omni static one for most of these runs, but in retrospect, it's actually quite expensive to craft and maintain. But the industrial static compactor made with aluminium is a great alternative. And although I haven't done the math, the melange you save may be worth just going for that instead. My intuition is that the difference is pretty trivial, but truth be told, industrial is better for most players, and I will probably use it in future instead of the Omni static compactor. I would recommend speccing into the various planetologist passives that affect our farming here. I haven't done the missions to unlock tier 3 perks just yet, but most of the gain is from the first level, so speccing is wise. Increased compactor yield, maximum power, power regeneration, fuel usage, and maximum durability loss are all great pickups. If you know of any other methods to increase yield or efficiency with this method, please leave a comment and I'll pin it. Have fun and remember to subscribe for more Dune Awakening content in future.